Hello beautiful souls, welcome back to my channel, Antoinette from Antoinette Intuitive Tarot and Jewellery. So this is my VR response to day 2 of Ethony's 31 Days of Tarot Challenge for 2021. However, you're watching this is week 2 of my uploads, and today's question was top 5 oracle decks for 2020. So I've pulled out 5 that I've worked with more recently than the beginning of the year. I probably should have made some notes as well, but I'll just show you as we go through. I think all but one of these are up on my channel as well if you want to see them more in depth. But I use them as kind of an extra message for the energy that goes alongside with my readings. And I don't, because I have so many of them, I don't tend to memorize these so much. So I usually work with books because oracle decks are varied, and you know, they often have their own independent messages that comes with them. Many are intuitive. They have like a word that maybe has a meaning to you, and that's easy enough to work with. But for those that have a more in-depth kind of meaning, and the creator obviously has their own kind of meanings as well that goes with them, it's really nice sometimes to use the book and just take out the extra words and message that comes with it. So starting first, so I'll do them in one at a time rather than trying to hold them all up. So the first one that I've chosen was the Les Vampires Oracle, and this is by Lucy. Yep, this is a Lucy Cavendish deck, and the artwork is by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. I have another one of these, and I also have a tarot deck that goes alongside these, and I really like the artwork and the messages that come in them. So it does come with a book. The book is black and white, but it is quite nicely done. It's not too big, and each card has can you see that? So you get like a meaning, and you also have in here working with the card, like the blessing of the card and the curse of each card. So that's what I mean about the extra meanings that come in that go alongside them. The cards themselves are a nice matte cardstock, the ones that I have. I think they did come in glossy, so this might be the new version of them. So they have a nice back. They are quite they're quite large. I do struggle to shuffle, so these go lengthways for me. But the pictures themselves, so here's one. So this is sacrifice, renunciation, offering and letting go. So the pictures are really quite beautiful on these. What do we have here? Courtesy, being thoughtful, polite, good manners. So natural, authentic, real and organic. And you can see like the images are really, really nice. I mean, they are that kind of doll-like appearance to them, but actually when you look into them, you can see like there's a soul, you know, look into the eyes. They tell you stories, and there's some great kind of colour and background. But they're not too busy, there's not too much to take you away. So it really is more about how you feel with words. So transmission, spreading of conditions, influence, impact. So to me, I probably, you know, that's a bit like smiling at people, spreading smile and spreading joy. The impact of that smile that you give a stranger. We've got here the hunter, aggressor, tracker, provider. She looks really kind of determined and mischievous. You know, you probably wouldn't mess with that person. They're on a mission. And this is definitely one of my favourites in the images, death rites. So saying goodbye, formal occasion, honouring lives. Just the picture itself to me is just, I could sit and look at that for ages. I'd probably quite happily have it on the wall in a little picture. And then, yeah, so I think I've done a walkthrough of these on my channel if you want to look at them and see them more in depth. And then we have nobility. So let's just have a quick look at nobility. So this is my first deck that I'm sharing with you for the oracles of 2020 that I've worked with, and obviously purchased in 2020. So as I say, the artwork, and that's what drew me to them. It was that's probably one of my second oracle decks by Lucy Cavendish. They were probably how I started off the year, in fact. The second deck that I'm going to share with you, I didn't work with for long because it arrived after the event, so I was wanting to work with it in October. So I did work with it kind of towards the end of October and into November, just so I got to use it. And that is this one. So it's the Seasons of the Witch, and this is the Samhain edition or Halloween edition, and it's by Rockpool. And I think the idea, as I've said in my walkthrough this, is that they will be doing a Wheel of the Year with these. So there'll be one for each Sabbath, or Sabbath, however you pronounce that word, for moving forwards. When they'll be released, however, I don't know. I was kind of hoping that it might be here now for in bulk, but it's not around. And it does come with a really nice little book. It's quite sizable, it's quite chunky. And again, in my walkthrough with this one is in colour. And there's a nice bit of text that goes with these. So sometimes it spans a number of pages. And these do have reversed meanings on this deck. So many oracle decks, as I think most of you know, don't usually come with a reverse meaning, but these do come with reverse meanings. So, and there's lots of spreads in here as well to try out with them. The deck itself is, for me personally, much better to handle. It's, you know, smaller than my hands. I can definitely shuffle this one. We have gilding on the edges. It's got a really nice back, which, as you can see, being reversible, so the images are, but it is glossy, so you might get a reflection while doing this. Yeah, so for shuffling, this would be my preferred size, I think, for oracles, with these little hands. So the cards are a little bit different with their meanings and things. So this, for me, was less of an everyday thing. I think this is more for your own spiritual kind of growth and what you're doing and where you are in your practices. So, so card 17 is the Frog. May the lily beneath your breasts allow you to drink from its healing waters. Be still, for there is serenity behind the drowning croaks. So that's the message on the card. And it's, you know, it is a nice picture, so you can look into, so you can take your intuition, you can read from a picture intuitively. Obviously, whatever that means to you. So frogs, for me, is a lucky symbol. So I might then choose to use the frog how I view frogs. Of course, let's just see what the book says. Tickling my throat. There we go. So this one, just see, when the frog comes croaking, know that you are transforming, or the process will begin soon. It's a positive transformation, not the sort of dramatic transformation one might expect with the Banshee card, but the transformation is easygoing. So much so that you may not even know it's happening. So it's kind of a transformational type of card. So I guess that goes with luck, as I was saying. And the reverse meaning of the frog advises you to find serenity and peace. Your energy may be scattered, or you may be overwhelmed and drained. So you have to settle down for this transformation to occur. So that's just a brief look at that one and how it is. So if I just show you some more artwork within these cards, perhaps. So we have the Mischief card, people climbing all over the rooftops. Reflection, I like this one. Kind of looking in the mirror and reflecting, or coming out of the mirror, whichever way you want to look at that one. Silence. So to me, this is a bit of a hermit card. This relates back to a hermit for me. Yeah, she's sat in the stillness. The imagery on these are quite dark in colour. They're quite moody. So we have greet the darkness. Here where the spine bends and the mouth quivers, breathe the hidden, the pieces that make you whole but cut deep with all of their sharp edges. So to me, that's about, you know, embracing who you are, what makes you you, not trying to cut out the bits that you regret, but actually learning how to live with them, how to accept them, how to make peace with them, and how to make yourself a whole person, and just being authentic and taking those lessons that you may have learned from the things that you want to cut out, and working how to put them into your future, and not, you know, feel like you're hiding aspects of yourself. So taking the skeletons out of the closet, accepting them, and then moving on. You don't have to share everything with everyone, but it's about you doing it for yourself. So that is the Seasons of the Witch Samhain Halloween edition. The next one, okay, this was a gimmick deck, I think. I didn't realise how rude it was when I bought it, but people were raving about it, so I kind of got caught up along with the hype on this deck, if I'm perfectly honest, and I have used it. I did work with it for a month, but it's not one that I'm probably going to work with very much. It's certainly not one that I can work with clients or show to people. You have to really know the person, I think, in order to pull this deck out. Some people call it a straight talking deck, but to be fair, most of the messages meant absolutely nothing to me. They really did not correspond in any way, shape or form to what was going on in my life, which is unusual because most of these decks do. So this is the Rebel deck. It's a beautiful, colourful deck. It has an awful lot of F words in it. Not that that's a problem. So when it does say it's an oracle with attitude, it's got F words in it, all over it. But the general meanings that were sat in the cards really did not resonate. But let's have a look. It's fantastic colours. So lovely colours. Doesn't come with a guidebook. It's double-sided. So for instance, so there's your kind of like, these are back to front, aren't they? So you get a message there, and on the back you kind of get the answer to the thing that's on the front. That one doesn't have the F word, it has an S word, but because it's back to front you probably can't read it very well. So for instance, this card says that project, that person, that idea is waiting. And then on the back it's basically get after that S word. The world has your back. So that's how this one talks. That's just an example of what it does. Crap is going down with your job. Reevaluate, change your perspective, or effing quit. So that's how straight talking we are here. So there you go. What's this one? Detox. Drink a smoothie, unfriend that a-hole, and throw some crap out. So yeah, maybe for January that's probably a perfect card for a lot of us that are looking to reevaluate what's going on. But that is basically, I mean, some of them are just to take a shot. Don't take 12, take 1, okay, maybe 2, and then move on. So that might be about attempting to overcome something that's going on, a challenge. You do you. Stop trying to change people. That crap never works. So authenticity. Camera's not going to focus on these, are they? There you go. So that's probably enough with that one, because there's not really a lot more that I can show you. All the backs are white, so it's only the fronts that are colours. Cardstock's good. It's a glossy finish, as you can see. I think that's what you call a linen finish. There's a slight texture to the cards. And they are really, really slippery, but they are like playing card size, I'd say, but super slippery and easy to handle. So that's the Rebel deck. I can't remember who that was by, actually, did I say? The Oracle with Attitude. So this came out in 2019. They have a Facebook page called Rebel Deck, so you can always go there and find out how to see them, and I believe they are also on Instagram and rebeldeck.com. For many of you who are curious about that one, but I think with the shipping and everything that it costs for me to get it into this country, as it's just basically a novelty deck that's going to sit on my shelves, for me that's why it's not worth what it is, but for many of you, you might actually really enjoy it. So I have the Awakened Soul Oracle by Ethony. Really like this one. This one came in towards the end of 2020. I can't remember if this was like November, might have arrived. But I've definitely done a walkthrough of this one. It's rose petal finished box and books, and then the cards are matte stock. So it's a really nice book. It's black and white inside. There's lots of spreads in there as well, which is what I like. And with Ethony, she does so you get like the soul story of the card, you get symbols, keywords, you get the awakened meaning, a shadow meaning, an affirmation, and a personal reflection for journaling with, which is what I really like about her decks. So this is normal standard kind of oracle size decks. We're back to big like handling, bigger than my hands can hold. It's silver gilt finish. It's got really nice backs with the bees, that's her logo. And the cards in this is version 2, the cards are just lovely. So adventure, so there's a keyword, and then you can take what you want from the cards and then look up the rest in the book. Knowledge, this to me was the hermit card for me. I really like that one, like finding a little comfortable nook, getting cozy with some lights around you, and you know, reading. And what else have we got? Meditate, mirror, have a little look. Shadow, challenge, I like that, playing chess, perseverance, you know, we can all overcome challenges if we put our minds to it, and obstacles, kind of magic within you feeling. So yeah, really like these cards, and the messages that are in them, plus what's in the book. So they are lovely borderless cards, good matte stock, nice thick, and not too bad for shuffling overhand the way that I do it. And let's just have a look, one of the cards that we pulled out. Challenge, wasn't it? So let's just quickly see what challenge says. Challenge, the affirmation for challenge. I am ready to go to the next level. Personal reflection. What areas in my life can I seek more challenges? So challenging yourself. So yeah, that's the Awakened Soul by Ethony, and the next deck is also actually by Ethony, and that is the Modern Goddess Oracle, which is very brand new, hot off the press. That arrived, although I ordered it in 2020, it arrived, no it did, it arrived just at the end of the year, so it arrived, I think this one arrived kind of in between Christmas and New Year, or was that another deck? Anyway, so this has a really chunky book, really chunky book. Same size as cards. It's coloured. It's so I haven't worked with this deck much. It's on my to-do list for this year. For January, I'm just pulling it out, so I get one card a week to work with the energies of. It is another gilded deck. Has beautiful blue backs with a mandala, which also has the bumblebees in it. These are smaller than the Awakened Soul Oracle, so I do prefer this size card. The box is fantastic and sturdy, and this one has, you know, it's full of, as you would expect, Modern Goddess Oracle, so it's got all the goddesses in, and it's also got more kind of iconic figures in it as well. So here we have Rhiannon. And in the book, it tells you about the colours, it tells you about the correspondences if you want to know more about them, if you want to use them for different things. The idea behind this card is that, so here we have the warrior. Kali, So it's varied, it goes around the world. There's lots of different looking goddesses on here, and it's not just down to one kind of pantheon. To me it feels like multiple pantheons. So we have Oya, fairy, Sedna. There are plenty in here that I really cannot pronounce. And then there's another one here, so the mystic. So Hecate. So let's just take a look at Hecate in the book, see how it goes, show you a bit more about it. So the keywords are crossroads, symbols, torch, Cerberus and pentagram. Her affirmation, I am empowered in my decision making. Then goes on to talk about the goddess, telling us all about them. We've got the divination meaning, and then you can have working with Hecate. So spending time at your local dog shelter, honouring your ancestors and the elders in your family and community for all that they've done. There's a shadow meaning for her, which is about feeling stagnated and full of fear. She also, for divination, is like when you're coming to a crossroads that requires you to make important decisions. So she comes in to help you, empower you, make your decisions. And if you're looking to use her to heal, like if you're wanting to work with your shadow self, or you're looking to that shadow work that many people have been doing throughout 2020, or for years really, but it seemed like there was a lot more of it around 2020, 2021 moving forwards. Writing down your list of fears for moving forwards. What is it? Consider the opportunity on each fear, turning it around, that sort of thing. So empowering you to make decisions for yourself. So that's the Modern Goddess Oracle. So it's 46 goddess cards and 16 empowering archetypes for the metaphysical badass that we are. So this is, like I say, that's the one that I'm using for January to go alongside my kind of weekly, week ahead pulls. I'm not really using it for much else at the moment, and like she says, you can use these for inspiration. So if you're wanting to remind yourself, so sometimes you can pull a card out of this deck and you can put it up somewhere just to remind you of who that person is and what they stand for, just to bring that energy forwards into you, to give you that. It's like a daily affirmation really. It's just a picture, an image, a reminder of what it is that you're trying to channel into yourself, what you're trying to bring forwards for yourself or manifest. So yeah. I think that's been quite a ramble. Yes, it has. That's quite some time. Sorry about that. So thanks for joining me. Give me a like, subscribe, share if you're feeling generous. Commenting below as well. Tell me what your favourite top 5 decks are for 2020. What did you use? What did you buy for oracles? Have you got any of these, and which ones are your favourite? Are you considering, have any of these tempted you? Are you considering buying them? If you want to check out my decks, you can look into my oracles section, and they should be in there on my playlist, and I will see you again in the next video. So take care. Bye bye.